Hey guys, welcome to Protein Treats. Today we have a special treat for you, and that is Julie Krillman.
Hi.
Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Now, Julie has been with our company for quite a long time, almost since the very beginning. But Julie is also a patient. When did you have your surgery?
I had my surgery September 21st, 2010. So in this coming September, it'll be my 5 years surgery.
And how many pounds have you lost now? How much have you lost from your highest weight?
From my highest weight, I've lost 311.
311 pounds.
Yeah.
That's why we're so excited to have Julie here. And Julie and I are both going to be helping you with full fluids today. So we're going to be talking about some really neat tips, some neat tricks so that you can get through your full fluids, both on your pre-op and then again on your post-op. So you know what you should be doing and how to get through it so everything tastes good and you feel like you're surviving. So
Exactly.
Do you remember way back when you were on fulls 5 years ago?
I remember way back when, and I have to be honest, I was not a creative person. I found two things that I like, and I stuck with it. Today, I wish I had been a little bit more adventurous. I think it would have made things so much easier for me. I did it to myself. I didn't try. But today, when you look at what we have available to us, you can't get bored. You can't be disappointed. There's lots that we can do. So I'm excited to do this.
Yeah, and you can find the recipes right in your account. So when you log into your patient account, you can go to bitsyrecipes.com. You can go right through and you can find all your full fluid recipes. So there's tons and tons of shake recipes on there. You're going to love it. It makes everything so much easier.
Exactly.
So when you're starting your pre-op and when our patients are starting their pre-op, they're going to be on full fluids, and some are on for a much longer period than others. It depends on your weight and it depends on your medical history. Your coach will let you know how long your pre-op is.
Right.
And then exactly the same on your post-op. When you transition to fulls from clears, the length of time will be determined by Dr. Pompa. So when you're doing your pre-op and you're getting ready to transition to full fluids on your pre-op, it's a mental game.
It is a mental game, absolutely.
And do you remember what that was like when you're on full fluids? I remember you doing fulls when you were at the 200. You were losing 200 pounds for when Dr. Pompa was going to see you.
That's right. It was a challenge. I do believe we've lived our life for so long eating the same type of foods that now all of a sudden we've changed. And even though we're excited that this is a new beginning, we're still having to get our minds wrapped around it.
And that's what's so great about when you're getting on fluids, because that's the first time before you have surgery that you really realize I'm doing this. I'm getting ready for surgery. I want to be as healthy as possible. I want my surgery to go as smoothly as possible. And you have all the support that you need. Inside your account, you can get the full recipes on Bitsy. You can get tips from your coach. And then, of course, we're going to go over some of the really cool things that you can do with fulls today.
And it's interesting because this does prepare you for life in the post-op full stage. So it's showing you today what it's going to be like then. What you can eat, though, in your pre-op, as far as the amount, is different than what you will in your post-op. So it's kind of interesting to cover it all and get used to it.
So a lot of the soups that you get when you go to the grocery store have tons of carbohydrate, have tons of sugar, have tons of chemicals and fillers in them. So the best thing that you can do is make your own soup, and it's really easy.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to show you is when you are making, for example, your bone broth, which we covered on the clears, you can go ahead and you can add in all sorts of protein. You can add in all sorts of meat. And then what you want to do when you put all your yummy vegetables in here and you've cooked it in your slow cooker is you're going to dump it into a really good blender.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm using a Vitamix blender. There's the Ninja. There's different kinds. Your average blender is probably not going to blend things like carrots or rutabaga or things like that. But you take whatever whatever non-starchy vegetables you really like, lots of garlic, lots of onion, whatever meats you want, put them in your slow cooker, and then you're going to blend it. And that's how you're going to make a soup that's perfect for your fulls, both pre-op and post-op.
Absolutely.
The next little tip that I want to give you is making smoothies. And these are awesome. Before you have your surgery, you feel like you're having like a yummy treat. Exactly. Yeah. So this is one where I've put in a little bit of kale. We've got some raspberries. We've got some carrot. And I've got some tea in here, as well as some ice cubes. And all you're going to do to thicken it up for your fulls, you're going to take some unflavored Greek yogurt and dump it right in. And then you're going to put in some avocado, and you've got lots of really healthy fats in there and lots of fiber. Put that in. And then you're going to blend that. I'm not going to blend it right now because it'll be super noisy. You're going to blend that up, and you're having a delicious, super yummy, almost like a milkshake to eat.
Does that freeze?
Yes, it does. And that's such a great question. I do this all the time when I make my smoothies because we eat them a lot. I'm like 6 years out.
Right.
I know you eat smoothies lots.
Yep.
So I put them in the little Ziploc bags like this, and then I put them in the freezer, and I'm ready to go when I run out the door.
That's a smarter idea. I used to just do individually, so I was making more work for myself. If I did it ahead of time, that would just be, you could get it and go. I like that.
Yeah. And you can add your protein powder to it, so you feel really nice and full. Really important when you're putting everything together and you're having your smoothies and you're having your shakes is the more protein you have.
Right.
The more full
you're gonna
feel. And it makes such a huge difference.
Right.
Now, right beside you, before they finish melting, let's show everyone these. Now, I use my little Zuko, and I know you like having these. So you can use Greek yogurt in them. You can use your protein drink in them. You can add some cocoa powder, like with the chocolate. You can even add Jell-O. So you take your Jell-O, you can add Jell-O to your Greek yogurt. So good. And then add a little bit of water, and you pour it in and freeze it. And now you've got a super delicious, chocolatey, kind of like a chocolate fudge.
You probably won't get through that whole popsicle.
Not after your surgery.
So full, exactly. That's right.
Before your surgery, you can go through quite a few of them. Yeah. So everybody thinks when they're on fulls that the only thing they can have is shakes, but it's really important. Have your shake, but add lots of really cool things to it. So if you're, especially before surgery and you're feeling hungry, take your protein shake, add your Greek yogurt to it, and now you've got a really thick, delicious shake. Yeah. After your surgery, if you try to do that, you're going to feel insanely full.
Very much so.
Now, the other tip that I have for fulls that has been my lifesaver are lattes. Yep. So this one's a chai tea latte. I have my vanilla protein powder mixed into it. You can do all different flavors. You can mix it with coffee. Now, of course, you're going to want to have decaf coffee afterwards and do it in your coffee maker. But if you start adding your Tirani syrups or your, Da Vinci sugar-free syrups to it, the possibilities are endless. And sometimes it's nice just to have that hot flavor.
Absolutely. And it's funny because I think for me, I was more of a cold. I like things cold. But there are some patients who prefer to have room temperature or who prefer the having things hot. So it's your preference on what you like, but there's plenty of different things that you can use as, resources for either.
And don't forget about all your little flavorings, like your Mio or your little flavor shots that are sugar-free that you can put in. So not only can you add those to your smoothies when you do it, but if you're having your Greek yogurt and your protein and adding water and making a little smoothie, you can use these to flavor as well before and after your surgery. So it's really a mind game. It's really important that you reach out to your coach when you're feeling or wondering, what it's going to be like or what you can have. But I think if you remember those 3 rules, no seeds, right? No sugar, and
no chunks.
So I know you talk to patients a lot before and after their surgery, but I'm really thinking of patients that have had surgery and they're about to transition from clears to fulls. So what is the number one piece of advice that you would give to a patient who's in that transition period?
I think probably the thing that took me a little while to learn, but I did, was to slow down. We are so used to and so programmed in swallowing and drinking. Our lives are so fast, we go, that we need to learn how to slow down. Small sips, take a little bit of time, don't rush. The other tip that's really good is that you may need to water down or thin your protein a little bit. It can be pretty thick sometimes, and it can be a little bit more difficult. There's nothing wrong with thinning it out a little bit.
Yeah, I remember those first days when I started drinking full fluids after my surgery 6 years ago. And it was such a huge shock. I couldn't believe how little I could drink and how full. Like there was no way I was going to drink an entire shake.
Exactly.
But you don't sort of realize that going into it, but it's so normal.
It is. And it's a really very eye-opening experience because, again, we go back to our life before where we could drink a very large glass of something and it be okay. Now we're drinking this much and we're feeling full, and it's exciting. It's like, this is how it's going to be. This is cool.
Yeah, it's a really neat transition. So as you're going through the full stage, make sure you stay in touch with your coach. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out. That's what we're here for, is for that support, and really enjoy this period, because this time when you're on fluids and you're feeling so full on such a small amount, it's a really exciting time. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming and sharing a little bit with. Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It's exciting.
And you can watch more episodes on proteintreats.com. And of course, you can find out lots and lots of information on your own patient account. So thanks, guys. See you soon.